Now let's try to expand this whole insanity. Now cosine times, now we're going to cosine of d times this term. So cosine of d times a times cosine of cx plus c times sine of cx, and then close bracket, plus I times cosine of d times a times sine of cx minus c times cosine of cx plus I times sine of d times a times cosine of cx plus c times sine of cx and then finally minus, because I times I, so it become -1 times sine of d times a times sine of cx minus c times cosine of cx. And then we are going to expand this whole thing. This is insane. I don't know if I can hold up on my math brain right now. So we are going to expand this, because I already expand this term and expand this term and then expand, then expand. Then we could expand this one. So which is equal to a times cosine of d times cosine of cx plus c times sine c times cosine of d times sine of cx. This is the first one. Plus I times cosine of d times I times, so ai cosine of d times a times so this whole thing, so ai times cosine of d times sine of cx minus ci minus ci times cosine, so ci times cosine of d times cosine of cx. And so yeah, so it's going to take more time. So I times cosine of d, let me just double check the answer. So a times sine cosine of d times c times sine cosine of d. Okay, so far no problem at all. Plus ai times sine of d times cosine of cx plus ci times sine of d times sine of cx, and then finally minus a times sine of d times sine of cx plus sine c times sine of d plus c times sine of d times cosine of cx. Okay, So we are done expanding, and then let's check if there is some similar terms, some similar pattern that I can recognize. Now a times cosine, now look at here what I found. A times cosine of d times cosine of cx minus a times sine of d times sine of cx. That's same as a times cosine of cx plus d, because remember the trigonometric sum and difference formula. So we are done expanding this one, so I will just take, and then c times cosine and sine, and c times sine and cosine, that's the sine, that's equal to c times sine of cx plus d. So we are also done this one. And then we got the expression, so we got some terms that fills with the complex number I. So I will separate these two. And then now a times cosine of d times sine of cx plus, is there any plus sine of d times cosine of cx, that is equal to a times sine of cx plus d. So we have done this one, and then finally c minus, because c times sine of sine minus, so ci times sine, then minus c times cosine. Now because now these two terms now plus, because they have positive, ci times sine of d times sine of cx minus ci times cosine and cosine cx, we can factorize ci, and then we can factorize negative in order to make it equal to cosine of d times cosine of cx minus sine of d times sine of cx. That's same as cosine of cx plus d. So c times cosine of cx plus d. Now remember these two formula. When you have sine of we have sine of a plus b which is equal to sine of, in fact I will just write plus minus, sine of a times cosine of b plus minus cosine of a times sine of b, and cosine of a plus minus b is equal to cosine of a times cosine of b minus plus sine of a times sine of b. Now, if you don't understand what am I doing right here, you can just do it by yourself. Now, so basically now a times cosine of d plus cosine of cx minus a times sine of d times sine of cx. Now, this we can group together, become a times cosine of cx plus d if after we factorize the a out, and then c times cosine times sine of cx plus c times sine of d of cosine of cx. That's same, if you factorize the c, that's same as cosine of d plus times sine of cx plus sine of d times cosine cx. That's same as sine of cx plus d times c. And then the rest of the term that we factorize out, and then what we can see here is is the remaining term for this one. If after factorize I, the remaining term is a times cosine of d times sine of cx plus ai times sine of d times cosine of cx. So after we factorize a, I will get cosine of d times sine of cx plus sine of d times cosine of cx. That's going to be equal to sine of cx plus d. And then the remaining term right here is ci. Now after we factorize I, then the remaining term here is c times sine of d times sine of d cx minus ci, this minus ci times cosine of d times cosine of cx. If you factorize the c out, I will have sine of d times sine of d times sine of cx minus cosine of d times cosine of cx. But we cannot do like that because in order to apply this, we have to make sure cosine first, then sine times sine. But this one is sine times sine minus cosine times cosine. So in order to simplify, become cosine of a plus b, we have to take out the negative. Then that will exchange the term. Then we become cosine of d times cosine of cx minus sine of d times sine of cx, and then that we can simplify together as like become cosine of cx plus d. And if you still don't understand, you can just try to expand this whole thing, and then you can try to simplify and see for yourself. As always, if you guys want to see more, if you guys really enjoy if you guys really enjoy this video, especially watching me torturing on this, expanding this crazy math expression, leave a like and subscribe to subscribe to the channel to see more upcoming math videos like this, and subscribe to my channel for more upcoming math videos, and I will see you guys next time.